Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today. Sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram, he's at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we are talking the Diddy trial. As y'all know, I stayed away from a lot of it because it was just a lot, right? But essentially the jury has reached a verdict, right? And Diddy, of the 5 charges, was only found guilty on 2, you guys. That is correct. He was only found guilty. So on count 1 for the racketeering conspiracy, not guilty. On the count 2, the sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, not guilty. Transportation to engage in prostitution, guilty. Count 4, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, not guilty. Count 5, transportation to engage in prostitution, guilty. So the 2 charges were the lesser charges and each carry a sentence up to 10 years. And so what is happening now is either, and with this sentence, you can either do it concurrently or you can do it back to back or whatever. However, what's happening now is Diddy's attorneys are trying to argue for him to be released until the sentencing, since the lesser charges is what he was found guilty of, and the prosecution is, arguing against it. And they are, the judge is taking the law into consideration. So that is what the delay is on whether or not Diddy is going to walk free and be released until sentencing happens, you guys. This is wild. This is really wild. I can't, to be honest with y'all, I can't, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised because the more that this trial went on, it just felt like, the redirecting of the victims and everything else, and trying to diminish this as like, hey, these people are just after Diddy's money, or they were just after his lifestyle, or they stuck around, they knew what they signed up for, just really muddying some of the testimonies, I think is ultimately, maybe that's what the jury is looking at, because they're all in agreement of all the charges. And so when it came out yesterday that they were in agreement of 4 of the 5 charges, but they had an issue with the RICO charges, essentially, people were either thinking it was going to be not guilty across the board or guilty across the board. But it seems that they're all in agreement that they don't believe that there was any type of sex trafficking, but they do believe that basically there was prostitution and transportation to engage in prostitution, right? Which is then going to, lead to the freak-offs with Cassie and Jane Doe, and lead to the alleged, escorts and things like that were flued in and everything else for all of these various activities. But this is crazy, you guys. So I guess when this happened, according to the New York Times, they said that Diddy turned around to his family, because his kids are there, and, had praying emojis or whatever else. Also did a fist pump and a sigh of relief, apparently, according to the New York Times, that I guess that he was to the lesser charges and thanking the jurors. To be honest with you, even if he gets sentenced to the max, you guys, I don't even think that Diddy's going to do much jail time. I don't think he's going to do much jail time, you guys. The longer that this trial went on, the more and more it felt like Diddy was not going to get, if he was going to be found guilty, it wasn't going to be for what originally the government was pushing for, which was the RICO charges and, you know, forming the criminal enterprise and all of these things. And it is just so crazy, man. And there are so many people, you guys, on social media that are celebrating. There are so many people on social media who are celebrating, who are talking about that Diddy's next album is going to be the GOAT. They're talking about all of this and all of that. No, nobody's concerned at all, because I think one of the, somebody, I guess, was filmed asking if they were, I don't know if it was a Jane Doe or whoever, but if they were concerned if Diddy walked free, and they were like, for why? For why? Diddy's never did anything to me. And I'm like, didn't you take the stand? But, you know, again, I am not surprised. Diddy was a billionaire heading into this, you guys. Diddy was a billionaire. Even with the Weinstein case, something similar had happened where even he wasn't found guilty for all of his charges. And they have to come back. They had to come back, I think, and deliberate on like another charge or whatever. So... But I'm just like to myself, like, they really hyped up this trial and other big name celebs were going to be taken down and all of this and all of that. But if you can't even get the conviction for like the main thing that you're charging for, like, I feel this is a huge loss for the government. I feel this is a huge loss for the government because Diddy's already in jail right now. It'll be a year in September. So none of the less, you know, even if he did get sentenced to the max, let's say they say, let's do it concurrently, and he gets out, you know, they say, okay, let's just give him the max 10 years. But they may let him out in a couple of years for good behavior. He might only do no more than 3, 4, 5 years. Or Trump might pardon, you know, this whole thing since it's a federal charges. So it is just crazy to me. It is really crazy to me. Just the reaction, the response, people celebrating, people are happy and everything else. And I'm thinking to myself, like, so we're just going to ignore the details of what was being revealed in some of these testimonies. Well, we're just going to ignore all of that because you want to listen to Diddy music again. Like, what are we doing out here? What are we doing out here, you guys? That, you know, people are willing again to ignore certain signs, certain issues with people in their personal lives especially, and just be like, you know what, forget all that, right? Forget all that. He was found out guilty, so therefore, you know, they were just, this is all conspiracy. This was all a conspiracy to just take down a black man because he was a billionaire. But literally people were on the stand saying some horrifying things that Diddy did. But now people are like, oh, he's just a freak. That's it, right? He's just a freak and has got some wild sexual taste, right? But it's nothing to where, you know, he's doing anything on the level of RICO charges. And that's where people are, y'all. So it is a very scary time, you guys. A very scary time. So, but that's all I wanted to say as far as the trial goes. We'll see whether or not Diddy gets released. I think that is going to be a whole nother firestorm if the judge ends up releasing him too, y'all. That is going to be wild. So there is that. And that is it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.